dreadful thing that was happening in Ukraine. And it was a friend of my late son Alexander who told me that another friend of my son was planning to take out an ambulance to Ukraine. And he'd done it once before in the Arab uprising in 2010, I think it was. Anyway, so I contacted this guy, Khaled, and he said, listen, I just need £2,000 or £3,000 more so we can get this ambulance out to Ukraine. And I said, I think you're being a bit modest in your ambitions. And I set up a WhatsApp group. And within a week, we had enough money for 12 ambulances.
Fantastic.
And they went out in convoy, 7 of them, taken out to Poland, and then they were from there, an American NGO took them into where they were needed in Ukraine. And since then we carried on doing it, and we had altogether 25 ambulances so far delivered to Ukraine. And it's interesting that people in Europe prefer British ambulances to European ones, because European ones are kind of like blood wagons, whereas the English British ones are mobile trauma units, so you can perform operations on them if required. So there was another branch developed for Help for Ukraine, which was a fellow member of my club, Toby Illingworth, was quite a well-known conservative councillor in Sussex, and he also had a think tank concerning Bosnia. And I said to Toby, are you interested in going from Bosnia to Ukraine? He said, yes, I think I will go there. And he came back and he said, I'm in a complete state of shock. He said, Britain is not doing enough to help these poor, benighted Ukraine citizens who've lost their homes. And he said, other countries are doing it, and I think we should do it and be as good as them, if not better. And so he set up Operation Safe Drop. And Operation Safe Drop is a band of mainly British volunteers working with Ukrainians, and my charitable effort, Help for Ukraine, has bought them vehicles, and they drive out to the military hotspots at personal danger to themselves, and they rescue. They've rescued scores of people, families, children, and pets as well. Don't forget the pets. We are English after all. We like our pets. And also, I recruited drivers, and I thought, what would be the best kind of person to be getting stuck into this? They have to go to Lviv for 10 days for every mission and then drive around the country. I thought, retired ex-army officers. So to that end, you may have read the news that I recruited James Hewitt, who was looking after his mother in Devon, but he was sort of very upset about this, what's happened in Ukraine. And I said, well, why don't we harness, your anger, your sense of compassion, and your army skills, and why don't you lead missions for Operation Safe Drop? And so far, he's done 6. And they have to go out with Geiger counters and near nuclear facilities. It's all quite hairy and quite difficult. Anyway, I think the record to date is they've rescued 2,383 refugees, which is not a bad effort. So, one reason why Help for Ukraine is we don't have any overheads. No one takes a salary. So you get good bang for your bucks. And so thank you all, and I'd like to say Slava Ukraine.
Bravo.